So it's almost 1:30 Monday night, and I'm gonna try to go to bed. My computer's off, so as not to tempt me, not even to want to, do this video as I'm falling asleep, and I'm doing the video to make myself sleepy. Anyway. So I wanted to, elaborate upon something I said in a recent video, or maybe change what I said, because the words are similar, but they're not interchangeable. What I was saying, about the daughters of my now deceased aunt, who, by the way, I know it's not my mom, because I've slept in the room with her before. Remember, she slept with me in my bed when she visited me in LA. And I think that's all. He can get really, really loud. I've never heard my mom that loud, so it's got to be him. Anyway, empathy, compassion. I said about, they weren't really compassionate towards me. And I can only say the two that were closest to my age, because the youngest one is like 10 years different, you know what I mean? So I'm 10 when she's a baby, and, something like that. It's close enough, She's way, a lot younger than me, so I can't lump her in. But what I can say is their mom, completely normal. How you would think of someone who's well-adjusted, normal, etc., etc., that was their mom. And I am in a place to judge that, because I visited them. I saw her on a regular basis when I was young. I lived with them for 5 months, okay? I continued to visit and see them, until we moved out of state, and then I moved back here after college, and I saw their mom on a regular basis. I was much closer to their mom when I was, in my 20s, approaching 30s, before I, ran off to LA to take your pick, be with my soulmate, become a star, in quotations, whatever you want to think of. That's what I did, okay? But regardless, I saw their mom on a regular basis. But her daughter, that's my age, who's my age, is just too judgmental. She's really religious, and she's too judgmental, and instead of compassion, they're not interchangeable. I could just say empathy, Lack of empathy. And my now dead aunt, even called the one who's my age the least deep of her 3 children, okay? Sorry, that's the way it goes. Least deep of her 3 daughters was the one who's my age. Were we close when I was growing up? Well, yeah, I worshipped her. Remember, I was living in pure dysfunction, and she was not. You know what I mean? Not even remotely. Completely different childhoods, okay? And even when I was no longer living with the abusive alcoholic and the schizophrenic mother, when I moved in with my dad, it was still pure hell. And I used to tell her stuff, and she would be, compassionate. Oh, I can't imagine, Laura, I can't imagine. Of course you can't imagine. Because your upbringing, your entire birth to 18 years was the complete antithesis of mine, okay? And I wouldn't wish upon you any of what I went through. I just would like a little more, you to cut me a little more slack and more empathy, more compassion, whatever. So I said compassion, but I think empathy might be a better word. So that's number one. And it makes you think, because like I said in the movie, Try Loving Her Arms, I mean, she walked out of her friend's life, never spoke to them again, the girl was like, oh my God, it was like, you died too, you know, I miss my mom so much. Her mom died when she was like 7 years old, and they had been friends forever with Renee, and that was it. She couldn't deal with them, and then she got into a whole new crowd of druggies and whatnot, and then disappeared, you know, and yet in the end they welcomed her back with open arms. They forgave her everything. Okay? I told you, my family, them, I used to say facetiously, I'm like, my God, they act like I'm some kind of crack addict who broke into their houses for crack money or something. That's how they behave towards me. It wasn't that bad, you know, I mean. So that brings us to the next thing. Philosophical question, I guess. Let's just suppose, hypothetically speaking, there's somebody in your life, let's make it a family member. Let's say you have a family member who everyone thinks, it doesn't even have to be a family member though, it could be anybody. Anyone in your life, even a coworker, everyone thinks this person is so wonderful, okay? Maybe they're one of the nicest people. Someone might think, oh yeah, that's one of the nicest people I've ever met, blah, blah, blah. If that person has not treated you nicely, has been very mean and cruel and snide towards you, are you going to think that that person's a nice person? Are you going to go along with the crowd, or what's the word? Are you going to... That's an interesting concept, huh? The other day I was saying blah, 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 like some of these bus drivers are my buddies, and I said, but that woman, I don't like, you know, that woman, she's been rude to me. And the person I was talking to didn't say anything. We were talking about bus drivers in general and whatnot. But then I heard her saying to the bus driver how nice so-and-so is, and she was talking about that woman who had been undeniably very rude to me. See? See how perspectives are? So what if you have a coworker, a family member, or whatnot, who everyone just thinks is so wonderful and will tell you, oh yeah, this person's wonderful, yet that person has not treated you nicely. Are you going to believe that that person is so wonderful and nice and whatnot? I would say that most people I posed this question to, if I posed this question to most people, they would answer in the negative. They would say, no, I'm not. It doesn't matter if 500 people think this person's wonderful, if this person has been not nice towards me. It's an interesting thing, though, interesting question. Because we're talking to even people, we're even going to go even farther with this philosophical, hypothetical thing. People that you genuinely care about, whose opinion you value, think that this certain person is just the most wonderful, nicest, kindest person, and this person has been rude to you, has not treated you nicely. Are you going to go with the, whatever that word is? It's not status quo, it's something else, you know, with the something mentality or whatnot. Are you going to believe that that person really is a kind, wonderful person like everyone thinks, and there's something wrong with you? Or, interesting, huh? I'm not gonna, me personally, no. I'm not gonna think you're a nice person if you treat me badly. But it does get you thinking, you know. I don't know. posted a couple of comments on the trailer for 50 Shades of Grey. I did it before I saw the movie, but I've read 2.5 out of the 3 books. Okay, I'm on the middle of the 3rd. So now I'm getting in my Hotmail inbox, nobody's actually responding to my comment. See, I replied to this long comment, and a lot of people are replying to it, okay? It was by somebody who loved the books and doesn't understand why everyone, and she's on my side, she doesn't understand why people are slamming so badly Christians so badly, etc. So every time somebody comments on that original comment, I get it in my Hotmail. It's never directly towards me, though. It's that, but yeah, people are really, really passionately slamming, and this, even people in the BDSM community and whatnot, I told you how I feel about that, though. There's so many worse things out there than the 50 Shades of Grey, all those slasher films and Final Destination and Friday the 13th, etc., 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 so that's my opinion on that. I'm trying to put myself to sleep. At least shut off my computer. I shut off my computer. I had a cup of herbal tea. Yogis, 2 tea bags, 1 calming and 1 bedtime. I think I'm going to weigh myself when I get up, today. I'm looking at myself naked in the mirror. I don't think I'm going to like what the scale says, but, it is what it is. Clean up the kitchen a bit. I swept the kitchen floor. I'm just drinking my tea and trying to get sleepy. I at least watched all my videos now and took them off of private. I still have a whole bunch of comments to read and approve. Or not approve, as the case may be. And to Waverly, you wrote that, do what makes you feel good, you know what I mean? You're saying that you can't always think of stuff to say, but you're brand new at this, number 1. And number 2, it's, if you enjoy making videos, make them. Don't do it for anyone but yourself. Most of my videos don't get many views. It's just certain videos I have so many videos that even if each one doesn't get a lot of views, there's so many that it adds up, number 1. And number 2, certain videos have gotten a large amount of views, But I do it for me, Waverly. I do it because it's cathartic. I do it because, now I have friends out here. I have like a fan base. I have friends. I know no matter what video I upload, at least, there'll at least be one person who watches it. You know what I mean? So I talk to that one person. And I know my latest 5 videos are probably going to bore a lot of people because I'm talking about that bot movie, about how people feel, on the side where people are raising a lot of questions regarding the safety of both vaccines and GMOs, okay? Those videos will probably bore a lot of people, but they might get a few views, and, again, even right now, doing this video is, it's like, it calms me, and it makes me sleepy, I'm not going to do a video for like an hour. I'm going to shut it off pretty soon. But yeah, so my cousins, their mom was so nice, and so, like, she was, at one point when I was in my 20s, I considered her, like, one of my best friends. She wasn't judgmental. I could tell her anything. I could talk to her, you know. It's not like I would talk to her about sex and all this crap, but I was myself around her. I mean, I didn't, you know, she wasn't getting on my case about why I wasn't doing something more with my life, or et cetera, as I got from another certain family member all the time, you know, like it's any of your business, and, you know, it's like, I was close to her, and I can tell you, and you know, I can judge character of people. She was a good egg. She was, you know, nobody's perfect, but again, so my cousins having that kind of mother couldn't even relate to, you know, what I went through growing up with a mom who was schizophrenic, you know, but my cousin, who I wasn't never close to because they lived out of state my entire whatever, the one I recently, you know, thought was going to be now in my life for the rest of my life or whatnot, you know. Oh well, shit happens, you know. But she can relate. She had mom with similar problems and mom who chose fucking abusive men, you know, so that cousin can relate and have a lot of empathy, because whereas the daughters of the dead aunt are clueless. They couldn't even imagine, you know. That's not their fault, you know. It's not their fault. I wouldn't have wished my life upon them, but it's not my fault that I had the antithesis of their upbringing. You know, my upbringing was the direct antithesis, so, you know, that's not my fault. It is what it is, right? Selena gets it. Selena knows. It is what it is. And obviously she's not the only one that knows. I just shout out to her because she just has left more comments on my videos in such a short amount of time that she only discovered me a few months ago. 5 months ago, I don't know. And she probably left more comments on my videos than anybody in the history of me doing YouTube, so, you know. Today's grocery shopping day for my mama. It's not always on, it's on different days of the week. Depends, but she'll be bringing home GMO chocolate, Ghirardelli dark chocolate caramel, but it's still, you know, it's not organic, so that's one of the things I eat that's not organic. And obviously I drink booze, and booze isn't organic, you know. But over 90% of what I put into my mouth is organic. My cousin was trying to tell me something when she was here that I don't think is true, because I studied organic, and it says by virtue of organic, one of the definitions is it can't have GMOs in it. She was trying to tell me, just because it says organic doesn't mean it's not, that it's non-GMO. It has to have that non-GMO butter. No, even that's a joke anyway. That's not necessarily even true. because that's an independent thing, and she's wrong. I read the definition of organic, and it automatically, it can't be called organic, genuine organic, USDA organic. That symbol, that's, unless has no GMOs in it. So she was wrong about that. Did I argue with her when I thought she was wrong? No. As you guys know, she's very, very I don't know what's the word, forceful, or, I didn't think she was right, but again, I don't argue unless I'm positive I'm right. But then I wound up looking at Bleeder, and I saw that the definition of organic, naturally, it can't have GMOs in it. Okay. She was trying to tell me otherwise. I really think she's wrong. And I believe I read it recently in something. Remember, I get all these newsletters, from John Rappaport and I don't even understand why GMOs were approved. John Rappaport says we're like a human experiment because nobody knows the long-term effects of GMOs, and why were they even approved as being safe? You tell me. Again, I look at the facts, and the facts don't lie, that we're getting sicker and sicker and sicker as a nation. Obesity is an epidemic. It's through the roof epidemic, even in our children. The GMO corn is in every fucking food imaginable. That's why, like I said, but you can opt out of being in that system where you eat all the processed food, and then and then you go to the big pharma and get all the drugs to just cover up the symptoms or whatnot. And it's a cycle, and I've opted out of it. I eat mostly non-processed stuff.